signature banter.
Is that what that was?
No, I don't know.
This yawn is because I've been up for hours, not because I'm already bored with our signature banter.
You've been up for hours too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I tell you, I wake up naturally like 6:30. You know, I don't want to brag, but...
I don't know. I don't want to say there's something wrong with you, because I'm sure plenty of people wake up naturally at 6:30, but...
I'm definitely sure there's something is, yeah, but... Because I can go to bed till like 1, and then at 6:30 I was just like, oh yeah, 5.5, that's good. Let's cut it and go, let's go.
Just, how awake are you naturally, like when you first wake up in the morning?
Just, as soon as I wake up, I'm just kind of in that half state of like, oh man, this is terrible. And then that lasts until like midnight. And that's just kind of how, start to finish, kind of how I live, so.
I could wake up at like 7, or I could wake up at, 11, and I'm going to be not really with it until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, coming at you. Coming at you, heads up in the AM. The Wild Zoo crew, we're getting real rowdy here, talking about what times we wake up, how we feel during the day. I want to live in a retirement community right now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It feels like it would fit for me.
Yeah, the meals are planned out.
Yeah. Get in a little tracksuit, go for a morning walk around like 7:30.
There's a lot of mall walkers.
Oh, yeah.
In the mall I work at, they take that very seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they've got, like, the distance mapped out, but they'll walk down the hall close to one wall. They'll go all the way to the automatic doors, and with no room between the automatic doors and you. And if you're coming in, it doesn't matter. They're in the middle of that path.
Yeah.
They're walking right in front of that door.
Yeah.
Not like a foot away.
Yeah.
They're walking there. They got shit to do.
You should start, like, scattering ball bearings. Like, just throwing little traps under their feet. Trying to trip them up. Make it an obstacle course, Maybe they're bored with the walk.
Yeah, I've thought about, like, if I get there early enough just to pick one and then, like, walk uncomfortably close behind them until my shift starts,
Mm-hmm.
But
that's a lot of walking for you, though.
It is a lot of walking. And what's my end game there,
Yeah, make an old person uncomfortable. Yeah. Which I guess is acceptable, but...
I'm just saying, they walk too close to the door. Like, they walk across the doorway.
Yeah.
Very close. Like, I don't know. I didn't...
Just call security on them.
Security's already there. They see it. Okay? They don't care.
All right. Well, then what you need to do is you need to quit your job, get a mall security job, and start laying down the law.
Start roughing these people up.
Yeah.
I guess it's not the biggest deal, but it's just like every so often they're like right there in the way.
Yeah, I hate old people, right? Is that what you're going for? I hate them too, Jeff.
Well, I was gonna slowly build that over the years, so people would come to that conclusion on their own.
Oh, all right.
Well,
they don't know. They don't know if you do or don't.
Yeah.
So I guess keep that a mystery.
Yeah. I don't want Heads Up to be, the start of this giant movement against old people, but I guess if we have to put it out there, they are a little weird, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, welcome to Heads Up.
That's good.
With Jeff and Sean. I'm Jeff.
Just gonna ask you to start it. I'm Sean. I'm the impatient one.
This is a podcast where we do a few things. We're gonna talk about a candy that we've eaten, to share our opinions about it. Why not?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a middle section that isn't fully realized yet, even though we've been doing this for over a year.
Yeah.
But first,
I don't think we need a middle section. I think we should just talk about animals and eat candy. But we'll try some things out. I'm willing to meet you halfway here.
Okay, let's talk about those animals.
Well, now it's time to get online through our internet service provider. It'll be cool. Here we go.
Or an animal, I guess.
All right.
We're going to talk about multiple animals at once. That'd be ridiculous. Now, Sean, I have one in mind.
All right.
If you have one in mind.
No, what do you want to talk about? Let's see if it's the same one. The day that we think of the same animal to talk about, we're done with the podcast.
Podcast over. I wanted to talk about the red panda.
I was way off. Okay, go ahead.
Well, should we hear about the one you wanted to talk about so that...
No, I'm just going to keep picking the same one until you pick it too. I wanted to talk about salmon. I'm reading a book about fishing right now. It's pretty good.
Are you sure you're not reading that book by Salman Rushdie?
Whew. I've been pretty close to quitting the podcast before, but...
No, I'm glad you're reading a book about
that felt like a cartoon where they take a real sharp corner around like a road on a cliff. I was like leaning out of the car over the cliff. I was like, I could just let go, just unbuckle the seatbelt and plummet to my death away from this podcast.
No, I'm sure your book about fish is a lot better.
It is,
The
actually.
book I don't know the name of.
Yeah. It's called Fishing. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, okay. It's called Fishing by Brian Fagan.
Does he fish specifically for salmon?
It's How the Sea Fed Civilization. No, he's just the most recent chapter I read was about salmon. And he's just talking about how, you think about people before agriculture and you think of hunter-gatherers, and fishing is kind of behind both of those. Like, you can hunt for fish and you kind of gather fish, like just digging for clams and picking up mollusks and shit like that. And he talks about how in different societies, in pre-agrarian cultures, they would migrate up and down streams, and it was very supplemental as a food for most places. But it was like really important as a food source for like proteins and stuff like that, because even though it was supplemental, without it, human civilization probably would not have survived in the form that it did. But we're not talking about fish, so, and I'm not done with the book, so I'll have a book report for you on salmon soon.
Thank God. Well, you read books pretty quickly, don't you?
This one's, yeah. I mean, I can blaze through a sci-fi or fantasy novel like no problem, because those are written for idiots. But this is like a science book for science people, so it's gonna take me longer. Plus, it's I can't sit and read it because it's not a narrative. Tell me about the red panda. I've done enough talking.
It's great. It's not really a panda.
If it's so great, why is it endangered? Doesn't sound so great now, does it?
Well, I think it would probably be those modern agrarian humans that went away from hunting and gathering and started tearing down their habitats.
Really? So
I think that's part of it.
They'd prefer to be hunted? Fucking idiot red pandas. They're so fucking dumb.
Sean, I take personal offense to that because the more I read about the red panda, the more I saw myself in it.
Okay.
I had really one of those existential crises this morning.
All right. Yeah.
Is
maybe it's your spirit animal now. Let's see. What'd you learn about it? What kingdom does it belong to?
I don't. I can pull the kingdom back up.
No, it's okay.
There was some dispute over the years.
Please go on.
They have a well-being temperature between 63 and 77 degrees.
Okay, so pretty
and
small
cannot
range.
tolerate temperatures over 77 degrees.
Yeah.
Which basically describes me,
No, I'm in that boat. Yeah, let's keep it nice and cool. I don't like it to be too warm.
They have a poor quality diet. They basically have to eat 12 to 13 pounds of bamboo just to get the amount of nutrients they need to survive.
Okay.
How
does that feel? How does that resonate with you though? Because bamboo is like a vegetable, and I know you don't eat vegetables.
Well, because they have so many things. Because they also can eat fish or birds or eggs, and they just stick to this very easy to eat bamboo.
Okay, yeah. They put no effort into their own survival.
Yeah. Even though it's not that good for them, and it passes through them very quickly between 2 to 4 hours.
Oh, tell me about it. Have you ever had 13 pounds of bamboo in a day? It goes right through you.
Well, they're like 20 pounds.
Yeah. So it has to go through them fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any choice.
Yeah, and they can taste artificial sweeteners. So
I see that
they're one of the only non-primates that can do that.
Really?
That's what Wikipedia said.
How'd they find out about them? Is this some other fucking scientist being like, let's see how red pandas like their coffee, little Splenda? Oh, he prefers that. He must be able to taste fake sugar.
He eats 12 pounds of bamboo, but if I sprinkle aspartame on this, he eats 21 pounds. But they also have a false thumb. It's just an extension of the wrist bone, and my thumb isn't completely opposable. My thumbs.
Yeah, I feel like I knew that about you, but I also feel like I just learned it recently.
Well, because it's such a fact that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Right? People easily forget it.
That's probably what it was. Yeah. It didn't impress me.
Yeah, people are like, okay. But they've got false thumbs, which, I just really, the more I read about them, I was like, I'm basically a red panda.
Okay, but did you know that they're also called the lesser panda?
I didn't know that.
The lesser panda, like not as good?
I don't think so, because the other panda is called I think the larger or greater panda.
Yeah.
It just means he's bigger.
The great panda. This panda fucking rules, man. Yeah, you see some dipshit red panda walking through the woods, like just fucking eating a line of bamboo, shitting it out at the same time. And then you look over at an actual panda, and he's like wearing sunglasses, and he's fucking cruising by in a Ferrari. Throws a gold coin at you. Are gold coins still cool? I know they used to be cool when Mario came out the first time, right?
Yeah.
Kids used to be way into gold coins.
You can't swing a dead red panda around without hitting a kid that loves coins.
Hey, you're gonna have a hell of a time finding the dead red panda because they're endangered.
No way, there's a thriving black market.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
They have a lot of scent glands. on like their paws and stuff.
It's fucking animals. Is that why humans made civilization? Because they weren't burdened with all these sweat glands?
I'm gonna have to create a language. That way we can talk about, property lines, drop paperwork.
Did you guys smell that red panda? Oh, God.
Because my farts linger, but they don't linger long enough for if I leave an area, another person come around and be like, maybe.
What did I tell
I shouldn't
you?
be here.
I don't want this podcast to be all about your fart obsession. All you ever want to talk about is your farts. Stop talking about it. It's gross. Nobody wants to hear about it.
Like, your farts are so great.
And nobody wants to talk about it.
They prefer a solitary lifestyle unless they're mating, which is,
That doesn't sound like you at all. You've been in a relationship for like a decade.
Yeah, but I like to be left alone. I'm saying, like, socially.
Okay, all right.
What have you seen about red pandas, Sean?
They're called lesser pandas because they're not as good. I don't know, they just don't seem like, oh, it eats eggs and birds and insects. Yeah, I do too. What big whoop.
That's only if they can't really get a hold of a lot of bamboo.
Yeah, it's largely sedentary during the day. Yeah, okay. Big whoop. So am I. So what? They're not that impressive. Belongs to or rather, it's included in a family that includes weasels, raccoons, and skunks. So it's like a tiny little stinky bear, as far as I can tell. You told me that it had like stink glands or whatever. Is this the one that like essentially exists in a phylum by itself?
Yes.
Like it's related to all these other things, but when you get down to it, it shares. Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, they're also saying it's like shared a common ancestor with bears or something, but it's split off.
Yeah, it's just like a bear, skunk, raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it has the best qualities of all those things too.
They have stubby legs,
They waddle. They waddle around. That sounds like you.
Relating so much to these red pandas.
They're quite adaptable to living in captivity, so they really love being put in jail. But
they're also great at escaping.
Really?
Yeah. There's several stories about them getting out of zoos, and they're like...
Yeah, but how hard are people trying to keep them in? Like...
I don't know, I assume you have just a base level of caged animal at the zoo, and then, you increase it for, let's say, predatory animals, but I would assume that the base level is pretty safe, They're not like, I don't know, peacocks at the... What is that zoo in southern Massachusetts? They just have peacocks running around.
Like I would know. I would never go to a zoo that let birds roam around free. That sounds insane. They're tiny dinosaurs. Lock them up.
Heads up official stance. Birds are tiny dinosaurs. Lock them up.
Yeah. All birds. Lock them up. We don't need them. What do they do? What do birds do? I know we're talking about red pandas, but now you got me off on my bird tangent again.
I'm sure they contribute something to society. That maybe they eat a lot of bugs. Birds eat bugs.
I don't know.
Just replace all the birds with red pandas. They'll eat bugs.
So there's an extinct form of the red panda, and fossils of that extinct red panda have been unearthed from China in the east to Britain in the west. Wow, and it's a big range.
They get around.
Well, not these anymore, because they're all dead now. They're extinct. There's a picture on Wikipedia of a captive red panda.
Yeah.
And it's literally just a panda behind a chain link fence like you would see in a children's baseball field.
Do you seem happy or sad about it?
I can't really read their faces, but it does seem like it would be easy to escape from a chain link fence, so...
Especially if you climb and live in trees.
Yeah.
Sean, hear me out. I know they're already remaking the Oceans movies, but another Oceans reboot. This time, instead of all guys or all women, all red pandas.
Okay, but aren't like Ocean's 11, right? Are those the Ocean's movies you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. It could have been about the Atlantic Ocean. I don't watch a lot of movies. Aren't those movies about them breaking into a place to get a thing and then escaping?
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be more like a prison break film?
I mean, you could do it that way. I mean, if they're good at escaping, you would assume that they're also good at breaking in.
How about this?
Or no? Is that too much of a leap?
How about this? Escape from New York. Okay? Except everything's the same, okay?
Yeah.
Except instead of the president, a bunch of red pandas. Their plane went down over New York, which is now a walled-in prison. And Kurt Russell has to go in and free them all.
Well, aren't they supposed to be good at escaping
Right.
things? So wouldn't the red panda be Kurt Russell?
No, because Kurt Russell is going in to get things. So Kurt Russell goes in, and he learns through the course of the movie is they all already got out. And that he was set up by the government, and then they try to kill him. The red pandas, I guess, are the enemies here.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
because they're the villains of the film.
It's a little off topic, but was that basketball scene in Escape from New York or Escape from LA where you had to do like so many baskets on opposite sides of the court within a certain time limit, or they were gonna kill him?
I want to say L.A., but I just don't know.
So the red pandas are the president and the villain, and they've already escaped New York.
Yeah.
So you don't really see them escape New York. It's a movie about Kurt Russell wandering around.
Kurt Russell has to escape from the trap that these red pandas have set for him.
Oh, okay.
And maybe he gets out by...
He's sent in to rescue them, but
yeah,
they're setting up traps.
he was sent, but it was a setup. Yeah.
Okay.
And he escapes by learning how they did it, which is climbing up a tree and getting over the chain link fence that surrounds New York.
I don't know. Do you think people will really believe a movie about distrusting the government in this day and age?
No, they wouldn't.
I hear that their tails are popular for hats in China or Japan, I think.
Yeah, isn't that I think I saw that going through the Wikipedia page.
That's pretty cool, right? You can't just make a fake one that looks like that.
No.
How cool are these people looking though with a red panda tail hat?
Yeah, just like those raccoon skin hats.
Yeah, I mean, weren't we hunting raccoons and using their fur for hats and stuff so much, like a lot, and yet they're not endangered. They're thriving.
I don't know, man.
And that the red pandas just can't handle it. Do you think the country of China and its inhabitants are aware of the raccoon? And do you think we could make a living selling raccoon pelts and tails to the Chinese people?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to go trap. I want to become a raccoon trapper.
Yeah, for the first couple of years, but then, you create a business, you hire raccoon trappers,
Yeah, that's the classic story. People who trap animals for furs always become fur tycoons. Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, it definitely happened for a period of time in America, though, right?
I don't think so.
It was a big thing for a while.
No.
Make America great again, Sean.
All right. Whoa, I'm almost falling out of the car over that cliff again. Plummet into the sweet valley of not having to do this podcast. Hey, check this out. The wild population is estimated at less than 10,000 mature individuals, right?
Mm-hmm. The rest are pretty immature.
And yeah, I keep talking about fart jokes. And it continues to decline due to habitat loss, okay, and fragmentation, which means people are breaking up their habitats, even if they're not necessarily destroying them wholesale. Poaching, probably for those cool hats. And inbreeding depression, which is now a link I have to click on. Oh, yeah. These freaks are just inbreeding all the time.
Well, there's less than 10,000 of them.
I don't know, dog. Fucking take a walk. Find someone else.
They've got those scent glands. You should be able to recognize family, right?
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Can we be done talking about these nasty little nasty boys?
You don't like pandas?
I don't think I do. First of all, they're called the lesser panda. Sets me off right away. Okay?
Yeah.
It also makes me think of them as like a low-level enemy in a video game. Like later I'll be facing regular pandas and then the greater panda, and then there will be like Pandoxo, the giant panda boss. To throw swords at him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what this video game looks like.
You know what will turn you around? And maybe you shouldn't do it right now, but later, watch some videos of red pandas.
Yeah, I hear they've got useless thumbs, and they waddle because they can't walk right, and they are involved in inbreeding depression, and... Yeah, maybe I'll look up some red pandas fucking each other's family members. That sounds cool.
I don't know how you search Google, but usually that kind of video isn't the first thing that pops up when I search for something like a red panda.
That's because you don't know how search strings work. I'll find it. You think that's probably why they let go into zoo prison? Oh, thank God. Some fuckable red pandas that aren't members of my family.
Animals, they're dumb. They don't know.
Oh, here's a picture of one climbing down a tree head first like an asshole.
You're just mad because you couldn't climb down a tree head first. These things are fine to climb down head first.
Why?
They rotate their ankles.
Why would I want to climb down a tree head? If you fall, you land on your head. No wonder they're fucking endangered because they're fucking idiots.
John, they've got claws and a tail.
Yeah, and they fall on their heads a couple times and they forget who their brothers and sisters are and then they just get fucking. I'm sorry that I hate your spirit animal. I'm sorry. It's endangered, so it doesn't impress me. Any animal that's endangered. How do you do that? It's 2018. Have a civilization, okay?
I didn't know you hated endangered species this much. I had no idea.
It's not hard. Build some cities, right? Humans did it, and I don't respect them.
Sean, they sleep in trees.
Yeah, that's probably another reason they fall. Land on their stupid fuck. They sleep upside down in trees, I bet. Oh, you're tired climbing down head first. Just take a nap right here. When red pandas go extinct, I'm done with this podcast. The ones in zoos don't count. When they go extinct in the wild, they're done.
There's like 10,000 of them left, though.
Oh, they mark with urine and weak musk-smelling secretion from their anal glands, so they mark their territory by pissing and shitting all over everything. Does that sound like you, Jeff? You still want these as your spirit animal?
Most animals do that. It's not something you can just be like, oh, this animal pisses and shits to mark its territory. You want to be associated with something like that? Every animal does that.
No, I feel like they don't. Salmon probably don't.
It's hard because they pee in the water
Right.
that they live in.
And it just
You know?
disperses, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
Why would you want to be there?
Yeah, we covered that last time. Everything lives in the ocean. It's nasty. It's like living in a toilet. It's like living in a toilet you can't flush. It's disgusting. Look at oh my god, they're so dumb. First,
Is it because it's frequently discovered by its loud cry?
no, it's that's annoying too. Females begin to collect materials such as brushwood, grass, and leaves to build a nest, which is normally located in a hollow tree or rock crevice, right? Mm-hmm. When do they do that? Once that's females that are pregnant. When do they do that?
They do that after the babies are born?
A few days before birth. They wait till the last fucking minute. Oh, I gotta have a fucking nest. I got all these kids coming out soon.
Well, maybe they weren't sure they were pregnant until then. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
yeah.
ever see that show?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was pregnant or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, you did it. Now I respect red pandas, just like everyone on that show. Now I understand. You're right.
You want to build this nest that you're not going to use for like how long are they pregnant for? Like 150 days. You want to build it the second you might be pregnant. Have it hanging around.
Have a backup.
Well, apparently they make multiple of those nests. They go between them.
Oh, they drop a couple kids off each nest?
Maybe they got to be on the move, you know? You got to carry those little blind, deaf red pandas.
No, I hate red pandas. They're dumb.
Good to know. Good to know.
I hate them. Stubby little legs can't run well. Stupid bushy tail people want for their hats.
But Sean, it can stand up on its hind legs for like 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah. Trying to make itself look bigger. Yeah, wow. Real threatening.
Can you look threatening with that little red panda face, though?
They look like
You're gonna be
it looks like a possum got his face smushed in a little bit. Just do not like them.
I had no idea.
It's like some of them look like ferrets, some of them look like possums, some of them look like cats. It's like pick a species. Pick a species and belong to it, you know?
Yeah. Fall in line.
Like find a genus and just fucking get there. Fucking endangered animals. How are you endangered in 2018?
Ridiculous.
It's absurd. I'm done talking about red pandas. I don't want to talk about red pandas anymore.
Okay.
Don't want to talk. Done with red pandas.
I've closed all my red panda windows.
Yeah, good. Keep them closed, huh? So, last year was the Year of the Wizard, where Jeff made us just watch endless terrible movies about wizards. It was just awful fantasy movie after awful fantasy movie, with a slight high point in Magic Mike. So now what Jeff wants us to do is watch movie trailers, and then from the trailer extrapolate what the film is about.
Listen, when I picked this movie, Paddington 2,
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much the trailer explained. I thought modern day trailers didn't really explain the movie.
You haven't watched trailers in the last 15 years, have you?
You tell me what Infinity War is about, okay?
A penis-colored man shows up.
Is that the color of your penis?
No comment. And he wants some jewelry, and these other fabulous white men don't want him to have that jewelry.
Wow. We should have done Infinity War.
We probably should have. Yeah, we'll do that next time. We'll get it next. When is that? Doesn't come out this month, does it?
No, a couple months away. But instead, we watched the trailer or trailers for Paddington 2.
Did you ever read the Paddington Bear stories growing up?
No, I don't think my parents liked the English.
I dimly think maybe one of them. Something about him walking through the rain.
Sure. He seems like the walking through rain type.
Well, that's like his whole thing is the blue greatcoat and the galoshes, the yellow galoshes, right?
He has yellow galoshes?
I don't know. I didn't do any research for Paddington Bear.
Oh, I see some galoshes on this.
Yeah, he's got like the bright yellow. Come on, man. I fucking know my Paddington Bear. Don't fucking talk down to me. I guess sometimes they're red, like his hat. So first of all, the trailer I watched. It put in a scene twice where apparently an apple gets stuck to his tongue or something, and he's trying to pull it out, and it snaps up into his face, and then he's got a whole apple in his mouth. So they reused that. I don't know why. It doesn't add anything to my understanding of the film.
But did you laugh about it?
No.
Did you laugh about how he gets the apple stuck to his mouth?
I don't know a lot about Paddington Bear, is the thing.
Gotcha.
But he is apparently a bear that is alive, that can talk, and wears clothes, and nobody bats an eye at this. He lives in London?
Yeah. So from what I can tell from the trailer, right?
Yeah.
These two full-grown bears that can also talk notice him as a baby flowing down this river in Peru, rescue him, and then maybe in the first movie, there's a reason why they're like, you need to go to London. We're not going to take care of you anymore. And then he goes to London and meets up with this Brown family. Last name. They're British. I don't know if... That's not important.
Yeah.
It's not important.
You made it sound important. Sounds important to you, yeah.
And then he lives with this family, and apparently he still doesn't know basic things, but also he's trying to get a job to send a gift back to his aunt who found him in a river one day.
Yeah. So not his mother. He doesn't. They wanted to keep some emotional distance there when they raised him. They were like, we don't know who your parents are. They fucking threw you in a river.
Yeah.
So
maybe they were killed. We don't know.
I didn't see any of that in my trailer. But
really?
With the story you're telling me, child found in a river, just sounds like the biblical story of Moses. So my assumption is Paddington Bear is the heir to a throne, and he will instead turn to a new religion and throw over whoever the ruler, his father, maybe his brother.
Maybe that's why they had to get him out of Peru.
Yeah, they're probably like, holy shit, this guy's gonna like bring plagues of locusts and...
Maybe the powers that be there saw that, they realized that he was the one.
Hey, idiot, go to London. They love locusts.
He ends up in jail, it looks like.
Yeah, so...
He gets framed for stealing a pop-up book.
Yeah, before we realize it, in the first, 10 to 15 seconds of the trailer, it looks like he's going to find a magic tome, and I got mad because I thought you tricked me into watching another sorcerer movie about wizards. I thought it was going to be like Paddington Bear learns magic and then flies around, but it's not. It's just a pop-up book, and somehow it's important. I don't...
It's the only one of its kind. Really? Yeah, I've seen pop-up books.
I've seen pop-up books. No, this is a rare antique, and Paddington Bear's he's gonna get a job and save up and buy it.
The montage in the movies got to be great because they only gave us 2 of his odd jobs that he takes. One as a barber, and then one as a window cleaner.
Did you like when he window cleans and he's naked? Here's the thing.
Rubbing up against the glass?
Yeah, he rubs his ass up against the glass in front of a guy who's giving him like a little nod and making him do little moves.
No wonder he ended up in jail.
Yeah. That's the third job we don't learn about until we see the movie, is that he's a prostitute. Goddamn furries again. Sticking their little paws into everything.
Do you think that's why this movie is so highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
The furry community get out in large numbers to review it?
Yeah. Again, the furry community did the opposite of what they should do. They came out in large numbers when, in fact, they should stay inside in small numbers. Here's the thing. If you have a character, an animal character, and it wears clothes, it's weird when you show it then without clothes, even though it's an animal. You've established that it's human-like. You've established that it wears clothes, which means that it's ashamed of something. Maybe it believes in original sin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Showing it naked then does not become, it's okay because he's an animated bear. Nah, no.
That's what always bothers me about Disney characters, is that some wear just pants, some wear just shirts.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like Donald Duck just walking around with his dick flopping around. Like,
what does Mickey Mouse have to hide under there? You know what I mean?
I don't know, it's terrifying, whatever it is. It must be. That's where Walt Disney's head is.
Half the movie he's naked, it looks like.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time... Well, I mean, that's how he's making the money for this pop-up book. He works hard for the money, okay? So hard for the money. Hugh Grant is in this. Which means it'll be terrible, first of all. Hugh Grant is an awful actor.
Not a fan of Hugh Grant.
No, not a fan of Hugh Grant. He usually stars in creepy movies where he plays the quote-unquote, like, bumbling love interest.
Yeah.
But he always persists way after the woman says no, which makes me super uncomfortable.
True.
Like, it's just, it skeeves me way the hell out.
Back when we were more ignorant of those kind of things, people found him charming, but you're saying if you went back and watched those movies under today's lens, he's definitely a creep in those movies.
I think they were creepy then. I just think, it's a lot clearer now, and it seems, I don't know. I don't like it.
But he seems to be playing the villain here, so maybe that's appropriate, you know?
Yeah, he is playing the villain.
But also, I want to say a magician. It's hard to tell if he's a magician. They say in one of the trailers I saw, they said he was a master of disguise, and then showed him dressed up in a dog costume with his face out, sitting at a dinner table.
It's goddamn furries.
So.
It's goddamn furries everywhere. Fucking the God damn it.
But I mean,
It's not okay to have sex with animals, Jeff. Okay.
I know that.
All right.
I do know that.
All right. Please continue. Sorry.
So it's hard to tell what he is. He's definitely some sort of entertainer because
Yeah.
one of the trailers has him talking to Paddington on stage.
Yep. That's
And the rest of the Brown family in the audience.
That's a name.
It's a name, not a description.
No, please continue. Yeah, just wanted to make that clear. Please continue.
And he talks about wanting to save up and get his aunt this pop-up book that's really expensive. And Hugh Grant automatically knows, well, that's a rare book and very expensive. I'm going to dress up as a hobo and steal it.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe it is an actual magic book, like I first thought. Maybe that's... Paddington Bear clearly is not a real bear, so maybe he was crafted through the arcane arts. He's like a homunculi. He's like a wizard's familiar.
Now, is homunculi another term for wizard's familiar, or is it another term that I should know?
Well, homunculi is like a crafted creature.
Oh,
like
shit.
you make a little dude out of clay or something, and you give it life. I mean, a familiar could you bond with a cat, and then the cat can talk, and it goes and does stuff for you. As we saw in that movie with the witches, the 3 witches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We both saw it, and
Homunculi,
yeah.
Does that make Frosty the Snowman a homunculi? Jesus Christ. A homunculi?
Homunculi. Maybe, I don't know.
He's crafted
We
with
should
snow and
should investigate that at some point. He is okay, but
2018 year of the homunculi.
that makes we only watch movies with created beings. That would make the hat the wizard, right? Because there must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found.
But I mean, who put that magic in the hat? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'd have to watch a movie to determine. I don't want to get into that now.
We'll watch the trailer for Frosty the Snowman. We'll talk about it.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, Hugh Grant, clearly some kind of washed-up actor, because Paddington Bear on stage fucking calls him out on it, which is pretty great. I enjoyed that. They should do a movie with just Paddington Bear, like, fucking calling people out on shit.
He seems to get in a lot of trouble, but earnestly? Is that his thing? Like, oh, I didn't realize, and I'm so polite that it's fine?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the childlike innocence of this manufactured bear monster that charms people. You know, he doesn't know any better because he's not a person.
Yeah, he's not a person, and one day he will grow up to be a full-grown bear.
Yeah, he'll turn into some sort of bear golem created by magic.
Now, I've seen the trailer for Grizzly Man. You don't befriend a bear.
I've never seen Grizzly Man, but I'm just not an idiot. So yeah, you just generally don't befriend wild animals. Certainly not ones larger than you. Have you seen The Shape of Water?
Yes.
That lady's in this.
Yes, she is. I saw that when I saw the trailer initially. Sally Hawkins, right?
Yeah. She was. I don't think I've seen her in anything else, but she was so good in The Shape of Water. I am just psyched to see any movie with her in it. So I might see Paddington 2. I don't know.
Do you think you should start with Paddington 1? Because I'm sure she must be in that, right?
I don't think that she must be. Here's the thing.
She plays Mary Brown in Paddington.
Okay, spoiler alerts, though. Okay, for spoiler alerts for The Shape of Water.
Sorry.
Spoiler alerts for The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
She does have sex with a fish monster.
Twice.
Right. Is that what this movie is about?
Twice that's shown.
Is
You think she has sex with this bear?
Is the first movie about her springing Paddington Bear from a government facility because she falls in love with him and then has sex with him?
Listen, I mean, I don't often learn things from movies, but I did learn it's not going where you think it's going. But
No, I don't. I think it already went an amazing place. Please continue.
but now I know how to say egg in sign language.
Yeah, I've already forgot that, but
I'm pretty sure I know how to say music now too, but
yeah,
mostly egg.
You
yeah.
learned something from Sally Hawkins.
I learned something. I just had to watch someone have sex with a fish monster twice.
If that's all it takes to learn sign language, I'm in.
Give me another movie about fish monster sex, and I'll learn all kinds of words.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so she springs him from a government facility in Paddington 1, as it's going to be called from now on.
Yeah.
And, Paddington 2, they're just living in a house with a family, with kids.
Yeah, are those his kids? Or is the guy prominently featured standing beside her, maybe Paddington Bear's into cuckoldry? I don't know, he's a weird monster. Maybe that's his thing.
You might be into it. We don't know. We don't know.
The trailers don't give me any indication. It's just...
No. Speaking of spoilers, I see him end up in jail, being framed for this book thievery.
Yep.
And if you go to the IMDb page, there's a big graphic in the top with the characters on it, and Sally Hawkins is holding a newspaper that says, "It takes a bear to catch a thief." Mm-hmm. So that's a news story, is that Paddington Bear has caught Hugh Grant. Mm-hmm. So it's...
Well, we don't know that it's Hugh Grant. It's hard to tell.
Well, he's a master of disguise.
It could be anybody, though. We don't know. It could be the guy that played the most recent Doctor Who, who's also in this film.
What?
So in the trailer, I'll find it because I have the trailer up with the sound off. Let me find it real quick. He's in it for just a real quick shot.
Okay.
But, yeah, so...
Peter Capaldi? Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, Peter Capaldi. It looks like he's in this film. And he might be the thief. Maybe this is actually a Doctor Who story.
Yeah, it could be. Now, in the trailer you watch, Sean, does it have the scene when he's doing laundry in jail?
So
there's one red sock in the washing machine.
There's a quick... I see him wearing a hat, a pink and black hat.
Yeah.
And he holds his nose and does the thing like he's clearing his ears by pushing a bunch of air out through them, and it pops up his hat. But he's really only on screen like that for a second. Yeah, I don't see any red socks in any wash or anything.
The trailer I had at least 3 scenes in prison. So he's washing all these uniforms, and there's one red sock in there. He's like, what harm could that do? And then, oh boy, all the prisoners' uniforms,
yeah,
pink and black.
Yeah, there was a quick
And
scene.
they're upset about it.
Of a bunch of them.
Yeah. But then they all escape. He helps them escape, or they help him escape, by making a hot air balloon. And he escapes with several prisoners.
So...
who are in there for God knows what.
I saw the trailer. Yeah, I know. I wanted to talk about that, too. I saw... So the video I watched was Paddington 2 official film trailer international.
Oh, you watched the international trailer.
Yeah.
I think that's where our differences are. I think I watched the U.S. ones because, America first.
Okay. But there's definitely Peter Capaldi standing with a green vest, a bullhorn, and it looks like a policeman's cap. But it could be Hugh Grant in disguise. We don't know.
It could be. I mean, the disguises in the trailer that I saw...
yeah. The dog costume
weren't that great.
Yeah.
Weren't that great.
Right. In the international, he's at 2 minutes in. It's 2:01, right after you see the hot air balloon that Paddington Bear uses to help break a bunch of criminals out of prison. So maybe he goes to a prison exclusively for people who steal pop-up books.
He must have a pretty great part.
Yeah.
To be shown in the trailer.
Imagine how much they paid him to be in that movie, though. So the police arrest Paddington Bear with no evidence. He goes to jail on a mock trial because he's a monster. So I guess he doesn't have rights.
Yeah, he must not.
It's probably part of the movie. Is just Paddington Bear has no rights in this society, which is kind of neat.
I assume he escapes from jail to clear his name.
Probably, yeah.
Because he looks like he steals that book back.
So
and then he's on top of a train.
I'm assuming this is going to be probably movie of the year. So in all great movies, really, a lot of the forward action of the plot comes from the character's motivation. So does Paddington Bear want to clear his name, or is he dead set on getting that book so he can send it to his aunt?
Yeah, the book's already been stolen, so the guy that sells the book already got his insurance money, right?
Right.
So victimless crime.
Right.
He's stealing the book from the thief.
Yep.
Second victimless crime.
Yep.
And then he just sends it to Peru to get rid of the evidence.
Yep.
And his aunt gets a book, and no one gets hurt.
Paddington's already served his time in jail, as we see.
Yeah. Stealing a pop-up book? How long in prison? 90 days?
Yeah. Max, probably. Maybe time off for good behavior.
Yeah.
But he does stain all those clothes.
Oof.
There is a quick shot of Hugh Grant in a nun's outfit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know
Wow.
kind of what that guy's whole life has been like recently, but...
Yeah. For somebody that cleverly pinned this crime on a bear, he's doing a lot of disguises. He's disguising himself a lot. This movie's just montages, I think. Paddington, ripping it up in the prison. Paddington, odd jobs. Hugh Grant, disguises. It's 3 montages right there, and it's only an hour and 45
maybe
minutes
they
long.
were thinking about the trailer when they made the whole film. But I gotta look at Sally Hawkins' IMDb list because I just have to see more movies with her in it. She was the best in that movie. Yeah, she was in the first Paddington. Okay, I'll watch that. She was in Godzilla 2014. What Godzilla was 2014? Oh, that was
Was that the one with Bryan Cranston?
That was a really dark one.
Who the hell was she in that?
That's a good question.
Maybe random scientist.
On her list, it says Vivian Graham, but I don't remember. It wasn't a very good Godzilla movie. It was really dark and depressing for a giant monster movie.
Yeah.
And kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Right.
She's in like the top 10 people listed though.
It's crazy.
She's 7th listed. I don't
Sorry,
know.
I'm getting distracted by advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little around the web section on her IMDb page. It says J.K. Rowling reveals the sad truth about Hagrid, but underneath it says AOL.com. So I'm not going there to read that. So I'm just I have to figure out what the sad truth is on my own.
You know what's crazy to me is that you see ads on the internet because I haven't seen an ad on the internet in years.
I don't know. On the desktop, I don't bother with ad blockers. Just like fuck it.
You should. So
They gotta make money somehow. I'm not paying for it. I'm never gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
Show me an ad.
Well,
I'm smart enough not to click on it.
So what I do see is all IMDb content, and there is a section for user lists, just lists that people who use IMDb have made. Mm-hmm. And there's related lists. There's one called People I Like, and that features her pretty prominently because it's her picture on the list. With which family would you least like to spend the holidays? Part 2.
Wow. You may have ad blockers, but they're definitely tracking you somehow.
Well, but there's also Best Supporting Actress since 1970, parentheses, my personal choice. So, yeah.
I just have a list called Cool Folk, and the picture is Tilda Swinton with a short haircut.
Oh, shit! Sally Hawkins was an uncredited villager in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, shit.
That gives me a reason to go see that movie again, to try to find Sally Hawkins and say, you're going to come to Earth one day and have sex with a fish monster, and you're cool with it because you grew up in outer space. Perfect. Makes sense.
Yeah. Her character is so much more grounded now.
She's very nuanced. You didn't even know that. Ship or What was a great movie. I'd love to talk about that instead of Paddington, but here we are. I recognize the actor in prison with Paddington the bear.
The chef or one of the other ones?
Like the guy, like the big guy with the beard.
Yeah.
Looks like he belongs in prison.
Oh shit. Well, that is just.
Come on.
That's just stereotyping right there.
Yeah, come on. You know who I mean, though.
I do know who you mean.
What's his name though? I can't see. I'm looking through. It might be Brendan Gleeson. Is it Brendan Gleeson? That's Brendan. It looks like Brendan Gleeson.
Okay.
And it looks like he plays Knuckles McGinty. Jeff, someone got paid to name this character Knuckles McGinty. Yeah, it's definitely. I clicked on Knuckles McGinty. It's definitely him. It's definitely him.
Knuckles McGinty.
They already got some quotes from Knuckles McGinty for Paddington 2. So let's just make sure. Let's see. The quote 1: "I don't do nothing for no one for nothing.
Oh shit.
And I want those petite fours now." So let's. We got way off track because I'm just enthralled by Sally Hawkins. And I hate furries so much that I just don't want to talk about anything that involves them. Just, can you believe she was in The Phantom Menace?
I can't believe that.
There's...
I'm gonna watch that today.
When you find her, screenshot it and send it to me so I don't have to watch it. That would be ideal.
Okay.
Thank you. There's a train chase scene. It looks like they're on a train, and Paddington Bear maybe goes onto the train to kill Hugh Grant, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because towards the end of the train scene, we do see a carriage going off the rails, or it has already gone off the rails and is plummeting down a ravine.
Yeah, I mean, sure, people may have died, but
Here's the other thing.
as long as he gets that book.
A couple seconds after that, they jump back to when Paddington's in prison, and they have he's walking down a line of prisoners like an Oliver Twist type thing. Please, sir, may I have some more? Like he's gonna go. And then they have him like riding a little thing. Doesn't matter. After that, they have the other prisoners under some sort of blanket tent, like they're starting up the
hot air balloon.
the hot air balloon, right? But immediately after that, they cut to a close-up of Paddington Bear's face. You can see like his nose and his eyes, and the fire's reflected in his eyes, and it makes him look like a psychopath. Like, like he's just learning the power of fire, and he's gonna burn Hugh Grant so bad.
The Browns don't let me have matches. There has to be a different name for this family. Every time I say it, I feel like.
Yeah, that's their name. Just clarify every time. Just that's their name. The train kind of looks like the Hogwarts train, so I don't know if that's just trains in England. That's
they look like.
It's very brightly colored as well. He rides a goose at one point.
He also rides a dog at one point.
Oh yeah, the dog seems like a thing. Like he whistles for the dog and the dog shows up.
Yeah.
But the goose, I don't know. It's him dangling off of its legs while the goose tries to get away. So I don't know.
So there are other animals in here that are treated like animals.
You get the dog, the goose, yeah, yeah, and no one has a problem
Troublesome.
with that. Yeah.
Troublesome.
My trailer ended with an advertisement for Paddington Run, a mobile app game coming soon to
really?
the App Store, Google Play. Get it from Microsoft.
I'm gonna download that and play it.
Yeah, that's what we should be doing. App reviews.
I love endless runner games. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think it happens? Do you think it goes to the levels like London then prison? Or I mean, it's gonna be exciting.
Well, you probably chase Peter Capaldi and Hugh Grant a little bit. There's the train scene. You ride a dog. Wow, these tie-in app games kind of make themselves, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, you can collect unique costumes. Run through fun location. Discover multiple mini games.
I think I'd have more respect for them if they just animated Paddington Bear's dick that's out all the time.
Yeah.
I don't see him ever wearing pants, so he kind of comes across... Maybe they arrest him for flashing.
He's trying to tell them that he's been arrested for stealing that book, but really it's because he's out flashing all day.
Yeah. Or like someone is like, "Are you the bear that just stole that book?" And he's like, "No, look, I don't have anything in my coat." And flashes the person. So they call the cops on him.
Yeah.
And the cops show up and he's like, "Oh no, look, I don't have anything in my coat." And they're like, "You sick son of a bitch.
You're going down for this.
We're gonna lock you up with Knuckles McGinty." What else has Brendan Gleeson been in? Because I know him from a thing. He was in Bruges, but I don't know. I don't care about that. I don't think I saw Calvary. I don't see him in Paddington 1. So
You think they took a trip to prison in Paddington 1?
no, but I think maybe he's like a background character, and you see him doing it. Maybe he's wrongfully imprisoned by the police in the first movie, and this is a callback.
No, he killed his wife. That's why he's there. You know that.
Dark, Jesus. Well, he was in the Smurfs too, but I didn't see that. He was Alistair Mad Eye Moody, but that's not what I'm remembering him from.
He was just in one of the biggest franchises of the last 30 years, but that's not where I remember him from.
Let me just watch this trailer real quick on IMDb for this other movie.
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, okay. It's not this movie. That was a waste of everyone's time.
Just mine, because we're editing it out.
Alright, well, it doesn't matter, I guess.
He's in the Heart of the Sea.
No, I don't.
That Moby Dick movie with Thor.
No, I didn't see that. Thanks. Thanks. He was in Braveheart, but that's not what I'm thinking.
He was in Troy.
So, okay, here's the big question, and then we're done talking about Paddington. Do you think Paddington dies at the end of this so they can't make sequels, or...
No, I mean, he's got to live... I'm sure they're going to be making movies after movies with this guy in them, but if he dies, how do you think he dies? You think Hugh Grant finally gets a hold of him in the book and just strangles him, or...
I don't think that he can die as a magical construct.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think maybe no one really has the skill to kill him.
I guess how many rounds has he been summoned for? I think that's really...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a... I mean, what level is the conjurer that summoned him, you know? Because if he's just the product of a spell, then it's probably just a couple rounds, you know, less than a minute or two. But if he's more like a golem, then you create a golem and then it just exists until it's destroyed. So I guess the other question would be, how many hit points does Paddington have? Probably a lot if he survives that train crash.
Yeah. Prison, the train crash, he's probably got a lot.
Do you think when he goes into prison, the first day he just fucks someone up? He just mauls them with his bear claws and teeth?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
And that's why Knuckles McGinty doesn't give him any shit.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that bear's fucking hard as fuck. You think there's a lot of swearing in the prison section?
Has to be.
He's like, he's
'Cause,
walking.
I mean, how awkward is it going to be in a prison scenes and they're like, well, gosh darn it.
Yo, motherfucker, go back to Peru. And then Knuckles McGinty's like, yo, what the fuck you just say to my bear? It's a prison brawl scene. A couple
They
people
bash that
die.
guy's face in.
I'd watch a whole movie about that.
There's at least a spin-off movie series in there about that prison, but
Yeah. Knuckles McGinty and the prison riot. Do you think, what's more appealing to you as an animated bear film? This or the movies that that guy that does Family Guy does that are terrible?
this, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause at least- yeah.
The Ted movies look terrible, but this I'd watch. Sally Hawkins is in it. Knuckles McGinty is in it.
He's one of those things that you said earlier that I can't remember how to say.
Paddington Bear might be a homunculi.
Yeah, homunculi.
If he is one of the many fabled homunculi, then there's probably a wizard in here. Hugh Grant might die in a train accident, which I would love to see.
I mean, there's a lot of positive things about this movie.
Yeah.
I guess what we're saying.
Do you want to see this movie?
Yeah, kind of do. I'm into it now.
Right? People should pay us to pump up movies.
Yeah, I'm real excited about
I
it.
know. I'd love to see this movie now.
We just sold 2 tickets.
The animation in the prison riot alone is going to be fantastic. That's going to be maybe you know what? I bet this is just a tie-in movie because all movies exist in the same universe, as we all know. So I bet Knuckles McGinty loses an eye here, and that's when he becomes Mad Eye Moody. He just changes his name, learns magic. He's seen a homunculi now.
Yeah.
He knows what they are. He knows they exist.
Starts hunting them.
Starts hunting them.
Wow. More movies should try to tie into the Harry Potter universe.
Well, it's not just the Harry Potter universe, like the Star Wars universe. Have you already forgotten that Sally Hawkins is in The Phantom Menace? As an uncredited villager? Did you already forget that? Because I'm never going to.
How did she make it to Earth?
A time portal or something. Who gives a shit? Have you seen the recent Star Wars movie? Nobody cares about logic in those anymore.
No.
It doesn't matter. She falls through a portal. She's trying to have sex with a fish monster, and she falls through a portal into the 50s. It doesn't. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
All movies are connected.
Right? You've seen that people flip out on the internet about, what was it? One of the
Disney Pixar movies?
No, one of the Indiana Jones movies has R2D2 and C3PO as like engravings on one of the tomb things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Yeah. So already we know that
Yeah.
Star Wars characters were here before the 50s.
Yeah. Obviously, those movies are connected, and not that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are really good friends. But that's fine.
Yeah. We're talking about movies as though they're a real universe, not
Yeah, that's true. All right.
not that a bearded man-child who has no sense of culture and Steven Spielberg are friends. That nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that.
They're all connected.
Hey, do your We're done with Paddington Bears. Do your George Lucas impression. It's really funny. I always like hearing it.
Oh,
No, say something he would
Stephen.
say.
Stephen, I think we should carve the robots into the wall.
You can't say that.
I'm gonna put. I have an idea for kind of like an underwater race. They're gonna talk like people that we kept as slaves and didn't let read.
And done.
I think the kids will love it.
We're done.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We're done.
All right.
Candy. No transitions.
All right.
I don't want to talk about Paddington anymore. I'm so
Go ahead.
I'm so psyched to see it.
Yeah, I don't want any more spoilers.
I don't want to spoil anything else.
This week we ate Almond Joys. Sean, how much did you hate them?
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. And if you feel like nuts, just go buy nuts, cause Almond Joy sucks. They're terrible. It was awful.
You don't like coconut though, right?
I don't like coconut. I don't really like almonds.
Yeah.
The chocolate wasn't very high quality. And
Sure.
it was kind of after I ate it, and I got a 2-pack thing where there's like 2 in the pack.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah. Okay, I got the standard. Sorry, I didn't know that there was correct terminology. It was like my throat was just like, oh, what do you? Oh God.
You think you're allergic to coconut?
No, I think it was just the chemical sugars they used. It was just like grinding up my fucking throat flesh. It was nasty. I ate both of them, but I didn't enjoy either.
Wow. I like coconut. I like almonds.
Did you like these?
Yeah. They're great. Texture of the coconut, just enough chocolate. I like that almond crunch. Into it.
Why do people put coconut in anything? First of all, okay, no, even back up from that. We'll get to that, Jeff.
Okay.
Why do people put nuts in candy?
Because they're great.
Hey, I agree, nuts are great. Not in candy. If I'm eating candy, I want a sugary, delicious treat. Mm-hmm. If I'm eating nuts, I want a salty, I guess, nutty flavor. I don't. Hey, I'm not a genius. I don't know what flavor nuts have. Okay. I don't know how to describe it.
You don't think that works really well? I think it
can
works really well.
with peanuts. End of list.
What's so wrong with an almond?
They're like super dense.
Yeah.
It's like eating tree bark. Here, you know what? Let me just look at some facts about almonds. How many almonds should you eat in a day? There are 130 calories in 23 almonds.
I'm gonna say that's high.
Yeah, well, that's most nuts are. You get that like nut oil.
Yeah. Let's keep it clean.
You know, we were talking about farts earlier. If I want to talk about nut oil, I'm going to talk about nut oil.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. All right, let's see. The almond is a species of tree native to the Middle East, the Indian subcontinent, and North Africa. That didn't really help. Okay.
Now, this may sound ignorant.
Yeah.
Which I should preface with everything I say on here. But, is a coconut a nut?
I don't know. I hear about coconuts a lot, and it's how it's hard to classify them because I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Almond Joy does have the shortest Wikipedia page.
Botanically speaking, a coconut is a fibrous, one-seeded drupe, also known as a dry drupe.
I really don't want to eat anything that's referred to as a drupe.
However, using loose definitions, the coconut can be a fruit, a nut, and a seed.
Pick a lane.
Yeah, like...
It's the red pandas of food.
Pretty much. No wonder I hate them.
Much like everything that's good, candy-wise, Hershey went ahead and bought them just to get them out of competition.
Did they really?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Peter Paul Candy Manufacturing Company.
When? Oh yeah, early 1900s. They really just didn't have any good ideas for. Not all the company names had been used up by them, and they still were just.
Peter Paul.
This is the Robert Frank Manufacturing Company.
Well, they say like IQ points average jump of 10 points per generation or something like that. So maybe people were just real dumb back then. You know, they couldn't think of fun names. They were too busy trying not to die of the common cold.
Where did you learn that?
Cleaning out porta potties.
Where did you learn that?
I don't know, the internet somewhere.
Okay, yeah. All right. I feel like maybe sometimes it skips a generation, but... Oh, the Peter Paul Candy Manufacturing Company was founded by 6 Armenian immigrants.
Wow.
Look at that.
You know,
Look at that. Immigrants
every
creating...
generation's Armenians are improving our culture. First, it was the Peter Paul Candy Manufacturing Company. Then it was Steve Jobs. And now it's the Kardashians. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Immigration really improves this country. Who knew? Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah. Became a hit with the U.S. military during World War II. Who by 1944 purchased 80% of their production for use in rations. Wow. So basically America won World War II by feeding their soldiers nothing but candy.
It's so crazy.
Follow that logic through, Jeff. Guess what you are? You're like a fucking Captain American super soldier. Like, have you ever tried to throw a shield? Have you ever tried? Let me just...
No, I'll have to give it a shot.
You should. You're gonna have to try. I'd like to just get you behind a gun someday. Just see what happens.
Do you think Hershey's behind a lot of the conflicts that we have? Because every time there's a war, they have a boom in their candy production and purchasing.
I mean,
It's crazy.
war is good for a lot of industries, which is like a pretty big flaw in capitalism.
And I guess a pretty obvious fact. All right, I'm sorry, but who knew it had such a great? It was so great for the candy companies.
Yeah, that sometimes you feel like a nut jingle, which is really the only thing I knew really about Almond Joys before approaching this. In the
I'd ask you if you like Mounds, but you don't like the coconut aspect of it.
Yeah, so Mounds are just they took the nut away, right?
Well, it's dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate.
Well, that's probably an improvement. I do prefer dark chocolate, but in the 2000s, Hershey began producing variations of this product, including a limited edition pina colada.
Ew.
Yeah, I even like alcohol in it. That's fucking disgusting.
White chocolate key lime and milk chocolate passion fruit. Oof.
Here's a cool thing about this candy you love so much, Jeff.
Okay.
People who are into trains
Yeah.
have noticed a resemblance between the M3, a type of subway car built by the Bud Company for Philadelphia's public transportation system, and this candy. So that the candy looks like a subway car.
Maybe the subway car was inspired by the Almond Joy.
Yeah. It's always what I love thinking about when I'm eating candy. Is being on public transportation in Philadelphia.
Just imagine taking a bite out of there and all those coconut shreds are just little commuters.
Yeah. There's Eric. Hey, Eric. We have a friend who lives in Philadelphia. His name is Eric.
He might live in New Jersey now. I don't know.
He might live in California because I see him visiting Brett a lot.
Yeah.
And they send shirtless pictures to us.
It's not so much that they're shirtless; it's the faces they're making in the pictures.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of both. All right, well, so this is bottom of the barrel for me. This was just a terrible experience.
Top of the shelf for me.
Terrible experience.
If you could only have found like a bag, would you have eaten the whole bag?
No.
Is that bad, huh?
I didn't do that with something else. I gave the bag to people.
Yeah.
Because it was gross.
I think they're great. I'm glad Hershey's bought them.
When I first Googled Almond Joy, which was the extent of my research, it was like the Wikipedia page and then a bunch of recipes that involve Almond Joys.
Yeah, it's like those flavor combinations.
Yeah.
You make like all kinds of shit with them, yeah.
Which I think at some point we'll have to get into that a little bit. We'll have to make some candy flavor combos of stuff we've already tried and see whether that improves them or not.
The bottom of the first page of Google search, Paleo Almond Joy, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, Beaming Baker. So you can
enjoy Almond Joys just like your hunter-gatherer ancestors did. When someone tells me that they've tried a paleo diet, I usually think less of them, and I know I shouldn't. But
it's one of those things.
Unless you're catching your own fish and then using a stone knife to cut them open and gut them and then cooking them over a fire with a bunch of other lice-infested humans that have been killing off like Neanderthals by. It's just I just.
Yeah, you're really not embracing the paleo lifestyle if you're not doing that.
Yeah, pretty like I eat paleo. Yo, you went to a store and bought fish. That's not embracing paleo, dipshit.
You complained to the guy in the meat department about something.
Yeah.
But also, these are supposed to be, they say they're vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free. If you have vegan in there, can we assume that it's dairy-free? Because vegans don't eat animal byproducts.
They really like to brag about every aspect. I'm sorry that our candy segment too often becomes me like pulling hits on people who enjoy certain kinds of diets, but...
Yeah, just fucking get a relationship with a chicken, hunt it down. What do you think of the Almond Joy packaging, though?
Bad and dumb and terrible.
Because, I mean, you don't often see candy bars with blue wrappers unless you're talking about, like, pretzel M&Ms or caramel M&Ms.
Yeah, because everything wants a bright-colored wrapper to attract a child's attention. Blue is calming, so Almond Joy is like the old person candy.
The blue tricks the kids from staying away from the candy so we can have it for ourselves. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say it like that, but... You know what I like about this candy segment, though, is I've just been scrolling a little bit through some of these other candy things. I'm looking at this candy blog where they do a quick rapid-fire like history of the Almond Joy. And the guy kind of does what... So there's a comment section. And one of the comments is this by... well, it's from 2008. But... The comment is, "Hi, I am in middle school. Me and a few of my friends started a candy club a while back. P.S. I'm vice president. Each week we have to come up with a new candy that we have never heard of. It is really fun trying and rating candy. I'm hosting next week, so I am surfing your blog looking for a great candy fix. Thanks, smiley face."
This kid had never heard of Almond Joys?
First of all, yes. But second of all, how pure is that comment?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I've never heard of Almond Joys. I'm vice president of this candy club. Thanks, bye.
Man, I wish I had thought of a candy club in school.
I know, right? What dipshits we were.
The kid is living his best life.
Her.
That kid is living their best life.
And it's sexist on you for not thinking that a vice president could be a woman.
Hasn't been yet. So,
Sexist. Sexist. You make me sick.
Come on.
And on the one hand, I would like more internet comments to be like that. On the other, I don't want to say, boy, I, an adult, really enjoy reading comments from middle schoolers on websites. Because that's not, you know.
Yeah. You want more adults to talk like middle schoolers on the internet. Is that what you're saying?
Trader Joe's now, well, if they're intelligent middle schoolers who started candy clubs, can you imagine that?
No.
Imagine that. Hi, I'm in a candy club.
Yeah.
I'm the vice president. Doesn't that sound amazing?
It does.
Another comment, Trader Joe's now has something similar. I think it's called, quote, "put the almond in the coconut."
Ew.
Yeah.
Food shouldn't have innuendo type names.
Yeah. An Almond Joy should just be called a coconut almond disaster.
But where do you portray the chocolate there?
I don't know. I guess I don't. Chocolate covered coconut almond disaster. There, fuck you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You try to trip me up. You can't trip me up. Fucking swerve around you. Nailed it. Got it in one. How'd you like that? Did you go eat paleo, you fucking idiot? Put on your fursuit like Hugh Grant. You and Hugh Grant can go be furries together. Eat your paleo Almond Joy diets.
If I can make those paleo Almond Joy bars, I'll go paleo. Okay.
No,
They're good.
I don't know. Will you? Will you, though?
Chick-fil-A's paleo, right?
Yeah. Yep. Just like your Paleolithic ancestors used to make.
Bottom of the barrel for you. You hate Almond Joys. You wish they were gone.
Yep. I don't wish they were gone. I wish I hadn't had to eat them. I wish you would pick candies that I want to eat.
Listen. I threw it out there that you could pick one, and then
You threw it out there like last night. You picked it like last minute. You tricked me into eating this candy you knew I
4
wouldn't
days
want.
ago. Yeah. I already had some in my house.
Yeah, I knew it. This felt like an attack. This felt like an attack on me.
No. I had some. I was like, that'll be easy. And then I was like, pretty sure Sean hates all this, but if he doesn't want it, maybe he'll say something else. And then you're like, you gave not even a one-word response. You gave a one-letter response.
I was trying to type K, and it kept autocorrecting to I. So when I did it the second time, I just went, yeah, he probably gets it. And I didn't bother. I had a few last night. You can't blame me. We should do a segment on how lucky you are that you have my phone number and I text you. I'm delightful. Everybody in that group chat should be thanking me all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not.
I don't know why they're not either. That shit's genius. Fucking amazing. All right, so Hugh Grant's a furry.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go paleo, almond joy.
Yeah.
Of the last four things I listed, I hate 3 of them. I'll let you decide which 3.
Make your own list of what Sean hates.
Make your own list.
Send it in.
Put it on our Instagram. Yeah. Speaking of which, if you want to message us, there's headsuppod@gmail.com if you want to send an email. There's an Instagram and a Twitter. Both of them are @headsuppod.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add, Jeff?
No, covering it.
This has been the Heads Up Podcast. You want me to do like a little voice like that? Was that good?
Yeah, if you could do a different accent every time you
Yeah.
do the show.
Could I? Yeah, I could. And it would be a slam dunk and everybody would love it. We should have George Lucas give us the outro. I can't do a good George Lucas though.
I don't think I can either, but it seems to be going okay.
I like it. That's it. That's the Heads Up Podcast with Jeff and Sean. I'm Sean.
I'm Jeff.
See, you do it every time. You do that last time. You do it every time. I don't know.
All right. Sorry, I'll wait till you say
No,
it.
go ahead. You'll do it first, but just slow it down. Just wait a second to see if there's a pause. Okay. We're gonna take another run at it. We'll go back to the start. All right.
I want you to say your name first, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because every time I do, it seems like you're saying your name at the same time.
Well, I panicked that you're not, that you're waiting for me to say it, so I'm like,
But I didn't even pause that last time, though.
I know, but the times before you paused,
All right. I'll say my name first.
a lot of stress built up.
All right. I mean, even though this has been Heads Up with Jeff and Sean. In that order, it goes Jeff and then Sean, but that's fine. I'm Sean.
I'm Jeff.
And we're popping off.
Toodles.
A penis-colored man shows up